A few months ago, some of you were busy on social media advocating for change. That change has come. Just that we are the ones feeling the impact at home. In some ways, some of you succeeded because now when you come home for holidays, your money has more value. But when we come here for vacation, ours have less value. Well, a couple things caught my attention this evening. One of which is the young girl who came up here, who's a writer. Please, one more time, a round of applause. And I like the fact that, in honoring her, you also did not forget about the parents who have made it possible. They say that if you want to hide information from black people, you put it in a book. Sometimes they tease us like that because there's this assumption that we don't like to read. Yeah. So they say if you want to hide any information from black people, just put it in a book. It will just be there and they'll be staring at it. But it's not completely true. Africa is a great continent. Many good things started in Africa. Even writing. Even writing started in Africa. It started in Egypt. Civilization started in Africa. Great continent, blessed. Nigerians are arguably some of the most educated immigrants in the world. Statistics show. We're also a very rich country. At some point, we were the world's 6th largest producer of oil. But Africa's biggest problem is leadership. You can't have everything. So in some parts of the world, God has punished with bad weather. Maybe our own punishment is bad leadership. Yeah. So we take it. But our people did well with oral tradition. Africa was an advanced society. Good system of government, everything that it takes to be a superpower, Africa had. But we didn't manage it well, maybe. So some people came with better intelligence, came into Africa as missionaries, handed us Bibles and destroyed idols, converted us from our traditional way of worship to Christians, and we welcomed them because Africans are very welcoming. But we did not know that they had slavery in mind. So while we were busy welcoming them and acquiring a bit of their culture and religion, they were packing ships to take some people to come farm in this part of the world. But we were not prepared. So they took some of our ancestors, brought them this far, and now that Africa is ready to travel, they don't want us to travel. They have embassies all over the place, stopping people from getting visas. You took us when we were not ready, forced us into ships. Now we are ready to travel. You don't want us to travel. Life is not fair. Because if those people try that thing again, brought ships to Nigeria, trust me, they wouldn't have enough ships to move people. So they took us by surprise. Now we are ready. They are no longer ready. They are not interested. It's not fair. Anyway, we survived. There's no killing the African. Like I said before they came, we had religion. Our ancestors worshipped the traditional way. So those missionaries came and they were baptizing people as they were converting. They'll sprinkle water on you, change your name, and from then on you acquire a new faith. Once in a while, the early missionaries will go around our villages, especially for those of us who come from the southeast of Nigeria, just those days, to check how you were doing in the Lord. So on this particular day, Father Philip, an Irish priest, went to the family of Brother Paul, a new convert, to see how they were doing. And it was supposed to be a Good Friday. By the doctrine on Good Fridays, you don't eat meat. Those of you who are Catholic, you abstain from meat consumption on Good Fridays, just, as a way, as a practice of faith. So on that day, Father Philip got to the house of Brother Paul, and behold, he was enjoying his native fufu with bitter leaf soup. with bush meat. Father Philip looked into their soup pot, saw the leg of the bush meat, and said to Brother Paul, are you eating meat on Good Friday? Brother Paul, as a sharp Igbo man, said, no, Father. It is not meat, it's fish. You can imagine the shock on the white priest's face. When I'm staring at the leg of the bushmeat in your soup pot and you're saying it's fish. So the priest looked at him again and said, Brother Paul, are you going to lie on Good Friday? He said, no, Father, I'm not lying. This is fish, not meat. But let me explain before you get confused. He said, Father, referring to the priest now, you remember when you first came to my community? My name was Amadioha. But one day you brought me out in front of the church, you sprinkled water on me, and you said, Amadioha, from now your name is Paul. And since that day, I've been answering Paul. I went into the farm and I caught this bushmeat. But I remembered it was Good Friday and we are not supposed to eat meat. But I need to feed my family. So I took this meat outside, I sprinkled water on it, and I said, meat, you're now fish. And I told my wife to make soup. And the priest said to him, no, Brother Paul, you don't have such powers. Brother Paul said to Yibo, you see where we are going to have problem. If you can change a home here, Mario had to Paul, why can't I change ordinary small this here to fish? Well, baptism is baptism. Yeah, I like that our children are beginning to step up, write books. That means the future of Africa is bright. You know, the young woman here, at a very tender age, she's now an author, writing books, planning to write more books. You know, news like that excites me. You know, but I also know that for you parents, it's difficult to raise children in this part of the world. You know, because I have my own family, my wife and kids live in Canada, and I know how tough it is, how parenting is tough, especially in this century. Because the children are now the new parents. You know, growing up, those of us here who grew up when we grew up, without announcing my age, if you see some of the gray, you can place it. You know, I know it was not easy. We grew up in an era when television was not 24 hours. You don't wake up in the morning, meet TV on. You go to bed, TV is still on. No. TV will start at 4, close at 12. Because the TV station, they will need to rest. That was when we grew up. And we didn't know that these things were teaching us patience. You wait for stuff. You don't just get stuff, you wait for it. So by 4 o'clock as a child growing up, you wait patiently for TV. And that was when the head of the house or the head of the family controlled everything. Because once it's 4 o'clock, you go look for your father to come and open the TV. Because he had keys, he came in boxes. So the head of the house will come with the key wherever he is, unlock it, then slide the doors open. You can now watch TV. To watch TV was like a ceremony. You don't just every time you press something and TV comes on. No, you prepare for TV. Then you sit patiently, the national anthem will play, pledge will play, then you start watching. Then parental control was not something you set on your decoder or your set-top box. No, parental control was your parents sitting behind and you sitting on the floor. If you watch anything you're not supposed to watch, you get a knock. And you know, parents don't need to. Not like these days. You will talk and talk and talk. Your parents will only tell you things once. The second one, a knock will accompany it. That one is to engrave it permanently in your memory. So that next time when you hear, you will remember.